You don't become great by chasing applause. You become great by surviving the silence. The kind of silence that stretches across long nights where no one's watching, no one's praising, and everything inside you says, quit. Greatness doesn't arrive like a gift. It extracts. It takes from you. And what it leaves behind is never the same as what you started with. History doesn't remember the comfort seekers. It remembers the obsessed, the fractured, the possessed. Not because they lived balanced, fulfilling lives, but because they traded safety for something enormous, something impossible, something that burned through them like wildfire. Behind every statue, every quote carved into stone, is a human being who was torn apart by the very thing we now worship them for. The truth? Greatness is not glory, it's grit dressed in ruin. Look deeper into the lives of those we call legends. You'll find chaos, loneliness, collapse. Van Gogh painted like he was running out of time, because inside his mind, he was. He didn't just suffer for his art, he was devoured by it. 900 paintings, one sold. His success story began after he was already dead. How many could endure that kind of silence? We idolize Einstein, but rarely speak of his alienation. We quote Nietzsche like a prophet, forgetting he died in the grip of madness. What do all these stories tell us? That the world loves greatness, but only when it's dead. Because real greatness is inconvenient. It doesn't smile for the cameras. It doesn't follow social rules. It doesn't attend the party. It's too busy tearing something out of its own soul. You can't explain that kind of drive to people who've never felt it. They'll think you're arrogant, unstable, obsessive, and maybe you are. Because to chase greatness is to chase disconnection. You will lose people. You will lose balance. You may even lose your own mind. Not overnight, but slowly in fragments. First, it's your weekends, then your sleep, then your sense of peace. You start to notice things differently. While others are watching the world, you're dissecting it. They're celebrating. You're calculating. The very thing that sets you apart begins to pull you apart. Friedrich Nietzsche wasn't just a philosopher, he was a human demolition site. He didn't just challenge morality, he shattered it, reassembled it, and dared the world to stare. His concept of the Übermensch wasn't just about superiority, it was about breaking the chains of society's narratives, becoming self-made, self-defined, self-overcoming. But what did it cost him? Everything. By the time the world caught up to his ideas, he was long gone, locked inside his own mind, his genius mistaken for madness, his work dismissed until it was too late to matter to him. The recognition came, but it came like a letter delivered to a grave. And that's what makes greatness so cruel. You don't get to enjoy it, you become it, and it eats you alive. Let's be honest, greatness isn't healthy, it isn't peaceful. It's the art of walking a psychological tightrope, blindfolded over a canyon of self-doubt, while the crowd waits to see if you fall. And when you fall, they cheer louder than when you stood. Because we don't just love greatness, we love the downfall. Julius Caesar wasn't just stabbed by enemies, he was stabbed by friends. Napoleon built empires only to die in exile, unwanted and unmissed. Even when the world benefits from your vision, it doesn't promise loyalty. That's the deal greatness offers. Give me everything you have, and I'll give you, maybe a legacy, but probably regret. You still want to sign? Here's another truth most people won't say out loud. Greatness is addiction with better PR. It masquerades as ambition, but underneath, it's the same itch that drives people to extremes. Schopenhauer nailed it. Desire never ends. You get what you want, and instantly you want more. There's no finish line. No finally I've made it. Just an endless treadmill with the illusion of progress. Wealth, fame, achievement. None of it satisfies, not for long. Ask yourself, if you did achieve everything you dreamed of, would you finally rest? Or would you already be eyeing the next mountain? Now imagine doing that for decades while everyone around you thinks you should be happy. Imagine trying to explain that happiness isn't even the point, that you're not chasing joy, you're chasing meaning, and meaning doesn't comfort, it consumes. It's why so many of the great spiral into destruction. Addiction, breakdowns, isolation. It's not a coincidence. It's the cost. The deeper you go into your work, your vision, your obsession, the less oxygen there is. Most people can't breathe at those altitudes. So why do we do it? Why, knowing all this, do people still climb that mountain? Maybe it's because the thought of being ordinary is more terrifying than the pain of greatness. Most people aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of being forgotten. To live, die, and leave nothing behind. That's the real nightmare. So even if greatness brings no peace, it brings purpose. Even if it destroys you, at least it means you mattered. At least you tried. At least you didn't sit at the edge of life, playing it safe, waiting to be comfortable. Because comfort kills more dreams than failure ever could. Greatness doesn't promise fulfillment. It doesn't even promise success. It promises a fight with your own limits, with time, with history, with everything that tries to drag you back to average. And some people, some rare, unreasonable people, decide that the fight is worth everything it costs. They would rather burn out in the fire of their vision than fade away in the dullness of comfort. That's the paradox. You know the cost. You know how it ends, and still something inside you aches to chase it. So I'll leave you with this. Knowing what greatness truly demands, would you still dare to want it? Or better yet, is there anything else that would ever satisfy you? Because if the answer is no, then maybe you were never meant to be anything less. Make sure to subscribe to the Mind's Mirror channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share this video with those who need to hear this truth, and stay tuned for new content every day together. Let's continue the journey toward understanding growth and the pursuit of a more powerful life.